everybody. Welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda, and I'm here with my brother, Eric.
What's up, everybody? We are here midway through Season 8 of Friends. We've got episodes 11 and 12 for you today. That is the one with Ross's step forward and the one where Joey dates Rachel. And so I do feel like there are some things that we're going to need to talk about here.
Yeah, and this is a really good grouping of episodes, I feel like. Like, sometimes they're just paired up in a way that just makes sense for the series. Like, I know we've talked about, like, how we've just happened to have, like, part 1 and part 2 of a certain, like, topic together. And so it's kind of good that these got grouped together because of what Rachel's going through that then ends up rolling into this whole new dynamic from Joey's side, which is extremely controversial, to say the least. And
this is not...
I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on that.
And this is not like the end game for these two. This is just the tip of the iceberg, like tipping a toe in the water of do we want to do this or not? And so
no, we don't.
So we've got we've got a whole lot of stuff going on is what we got with Rachel, like where her hormones are getting out of whack, and we'll kind of dive into all of that. But do you want to mention where we left off?
Yes, I do. And I have to say, Eric, also, I am just super happy to be recording today because we have been, although we have kept our cadence of attempting to release things in a timely fashion as best as possible. We haven't skipped a week yet. But we haven't recorded in a bit. We kind of did some like super quick recording sessions to make sure that we had the content to get out there. But it's just nice to be talking with you again, seeing you and talking about Friends, because we for so long have just been recording multiple episodes every week. And so just happy to be back doing our thing.
Yeah, back into a rhythm. So this is episode 1 of getting back into a rhythm, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and hopefully we are not blinded by the yellow contrast that is outside both of our windows, even though we are nowhere near each other. Really, in the States, it is the fires are creating crazy chaos outside. Although I did see a funny meme that people are like on the West Coast, like, okay, East Coasters, like we've got this. It was actually, it was a Zoolander reference where he's like, I think I got the black lung pop. And it's like the other guy in the bar's like, try spending however long, like down in the mines. Like, oh, I love that line. Anyways,
listen. You're going to start bringing Zoolander references in. I'm down for every single one. Listen, this is just how it is. I'm in Ohio. It is not common to see this sort of stuff. Although we saw it last year and now this year again. But I totally understand the people who live out on the West Coast who see this on probably a yearly basis.
I know. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. But yes, let's do a quick recap of where we left things off last week. We had Monica and Ross's friend from high school, Brad Pitt, joining the gang for Thanksgiving dinner. Epic episode. We also had Monica buying expensive boots, Rachel meeting Joey's sister to give her career advice, except she really wanted pregnancy advice. And we also had Phoebe trying to get Sting tickets once she found out that Ben went to school with his son. So I feel like we had a mix of like really good themes in those episodes and like really just awkward themes, but I guess that's always the case a little bit.
Listen, the Brad Pitt episode was highly rated, not just by me and you, but also by the IMDb crowd, which is great. Like, it was universally loved by all of us. The Monica Boots episode, which I feel like Monica's Boots story is one that I remember if I was like rating maybe my top 50 storylines. I feel like that were like stands out. But it really was just meh. And what was more important in that storyline is Joey and Rachel and Joey's sister. That was actually the best part of that story. But Phoebe and Sting was hard to watch.
Oh, I did not like that. And maybe if they actually had Sting on, would that have improved it? I don't know.
No,
I remember finding that out about it. It's like, would somehow having Sting actually... No, it wasn't that, because it was just the way that Phoebe was behaving.
It was
really bothered me.
Yes.
Didn't like it.
Yes, it was that more than anything. It was, listen, I have said when it comes to our ratings that to get under an 8 from me, people have to do things that are wrong and against character.
Yeah.
Phoebe was very against character. In fact, Monica was even a little against character in that episode. And so it does not surprise me, especially after coming off such a huge cameo with Brad Pitt, which was universally liked.
Oh, absolutely.
The Monica Boots episode gets universally almost disliked.
Yeah. And Eric, you had mentioned something that I had looked... I forget exactly what I was looking up that then I did. Maybe it was just Brad Pitt in general. And I think I wanted to like grab a picture. Either way, that episode did receive like the loudest cheer recorded throughout Friends when he opened the door. And it's like, or when they opened the door and he was standing there. Cause I think you had commented on that. And that is a notable, it's just noteworthy, and it sounds like that is according to sources online that is the loudest cheer, with a few other runners up. The Monica and Chandler hooking up scene, where she like pops out from under the covers. Ross flubbing the name in the season 4 finale, saying Rachel, that one, and also the red sweater reveal. Those are the kind of the next in line for getting the biggest crowd reaction.
I had heard that it was the Monica Chandler in the bed moment. Like that was the highest one. But that being said, if nothing else, with that list of things, and I would probably toss in I got off the plane. I feel like that also would have got a huge reaction.
Right?
Those things feel like the biggest moments, and the Brad Pitt one is just kind of like shock character reveal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
right.
And this is Brad Pitt like at peak. Like this, and
it was right after, I want to say Fight Club was before this, right? Yeah.
Probably.
I'm
yes.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Fight Club was like because I remember looking that up too, and I'm like, oh my God, Fight Club was that long ago?
Yeah.
That's a really old movie at this point. It's,
I feel like Brad Pitt at that juncture was at his peak or real close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so to get a guest star of that magnitude at that moment in their career as well, also tied directly to one of the Friends castmates, is like an unhinged explosion of audience reaction for sure.
People were freaking out.
People were thrilled. And like if I remember correctly, I feel like they did not show that in the advertisements leading up to it either. Like they said they did so like
officially a huge surprise.
Yeah, they did like and they're bringing someone to dinner, and they would like blur it out who it was. So like they would show like the door opening up and someone standing there. And so
okay.
I mean, if you were in the audience when they recorded it, obviously this is before the ads were coming out, but they still kept it hidden, I'm pretty sure, the whole way, which was great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
imagine being able to be a person in that audience.
That would have been
during
something.
That episode. Oh.
That's one of those ones where like the applause went for like 3 minutes. And they just had to like wait.
Oh. I know. I would love to see like just some of that original footage. That would be so cool. Like, I don't know if that's even out there or if like people can access like any, like if they would ever release, you know what I mean? Like the unedited
Friends has a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you can go find.
That would be so cool.
I don't know if they've got like everything.
Archives of like, their audience reactions, because that
of
editing
course,
work, I mean, that was magic, because the audience reactions, they really used what they could and had to do a ton of work to tweak out a lot of those either overreactions or just stuff that just didn't make sense, right? Like continuing laughter when it shifted into a serious moment, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's just there's just a lot of components to that really play in. And sometimes I know they had to like, you know, cut a laugh short or or extend a laugh a touch, or like if it was something that they thought would hit really big and it didn't get a reaction, they just rewrote the whole thing like on the spot. So
right.
There was a lot. There was a lot going on with the show, which is why it stands the test of time. But that's with that,
cultural phenomenon.
Let's get into these ones, right?
Let's proceed.
And so we've got season 8, episode 11. This is the one with Ross's step forward. And really, in the one with Ross's step forward, we've got 3 separate storylines going on here. We have, first of all, as we've already mentioned to some regard, we have Rachel's hormones kind of going a little overdrive as she has started to, in the 4th month of her pregnancy, as Phoebe would say, find herself erotically charged.
Erotically charged, yes.
Which Joey refers to as college talk for horny. We also have a holiday card panic where Ross and Mona are having their relationship kind of develop to a level where Mona wants to send out a holiday card from the two of them. And then we also have where we're going to start here with it, which is Chandler and his work situation where his boss has invited Chandler and Monica out to dinner and Monica can't come up with a lie. So then she just leaves Chandler to having to get out of this situation all on his own the next day at work.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's start there. And first of all, let me just say, I really like Doug.
I really like
Doug.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt that Doug makes an appearance in Christmas Vacation. Which is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Also in a, similar setting, not the boss, but still like a corporate situation.
Yes.
And so Doug shows up a couple of times.
Family man.
He shows up a couple of times through Friends. He's probably in like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yep.
And at this point, Doug has now divorced from his wife. So we don't have to have her around anymore. And so now we've got Doug saying, oh, well, you guys should come on, let me take you out to dinner, like new married couple, blah, blah, blah. And Monica can't get out of it. And so Chandler is left to do this on his own. And while he's struggling to come up for reasons, he blurts out that he and Monica split up.
Right. Yeah. Because he just cannot explain that, my wife despises you. Because anytime we've like invited you to, apparently he was invited to like the engagement party where he peed on a fountain, or he peed on an ice sculpture.
Yes.
Just cuts right through it. He's just not made a good showing, clearly has an alcohol problem. And she cannot believe, she cannot think of a reason to get out of hanging out with him, but she's just like, listen, I'm not going to show up here. I do not blame her. And I don't know. I guess instead of just explaining to his boss that
No, you can't do that.
She's tied
you can't
up
do that.
No,
can't
you
do
can't.
that.
As I'm trying to say that, I'm like, you can't.
You can't do
Save your
that.
boss. Yeah, my wife just doesn't want to hang out with you.
No,
She
that's
just
not
doesn't
an
like
answer.
you. That's too much truth.
You
there.
need something different.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the way though. Telling your boss that now you're divorced, or split up.
Seems like an extreme scenario. Like, I would have absolutely done the whole thing with like, hey, listen, Monica's busy. She got called into work, blah, blah, blah. We can't do it.
Okay.
How about, and then when
Anything.
he's like, tell you what,
She's a chef.
like, whatever. Like we were still going to do something. Let's go do something. That way he goes out with Doug, which he did.
Yes.
Without having to create the ruse of a divorce. But it does lead to a far more funny scenario, which is now Doug's like, all right, well, you know what we're doing? We're going to the strip club. And he's like, oh no, Monica would kill me. He's like, looks back at him. But screw her. Like, we're going anyway. Let's go. Yeah.
Exactly.
It all does come to a head, I think, when Doug wants to throw Chandler's wedding ring into the river, at which Chandler, we don't actually see this component happen.
No.
But the idea that Chandler fights that back, and then he threw a can at a bird.
Yeah. I like that at the end of this whole sequence, though, you know, Chandler saying to Monica, thank you for being with me. I said a glimpse into a world where what my life would be like without you. I think he said it's like a wonderful life with lap dances.
Yeah. I mean, let me tell you what, though. That's a glimpse into Doug's life without being
I don't
married.
think that would be
I
your
don't
life,
think Chandler's
Chandler.
running that
No.
lifestyle without Monica.
No.
Just saying, for what it's worth.
But I'm glad that it made him grateful, though, for his current situation, right?
Oh, he's been married for less than a year. He's fine. Like,
yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
If it isn't,
it was just a nice thing to say.
It was a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
So let's now talk about this holiday card, where Ross and Mona were out. Seems like they were out at the name escapes me. Where they were doing some figure skating, but it's in New York City, so I assumed it was at Rockefeller Center or something like that.
Oh yeah, yes,
doing the ice
that would
skating.
make sense. By the tree,
yes,
yeah.
And they're doing pictures, and that's what they said. They're like, look, with the tree behind us and everything, it looks like a holiday card. And then this brings out Mona. But hey, this brings out the Ross that we all love to see. Which is
really
chaotic Ross.
Yeah, it's okay. But this to me, in the last episode with Mona, I said, girl, this was your red flag. Like, this was your opportunity to just say, wow, I need to leave now because this guy is confused. This guy clearly does not know what he wants because he was not straightforward with me.
Not even a little.
About any of this. Yeah, and he's like trying to cover his tracks like right in front of her in real time, and she just is not getting it. And this episode just doubles down on that. And yes, it is hilarious, although crazy if this were a real life scenario. Eric, how long have they actually been dating at this point?
It's a great question.
They met at the wedding, right?
So if we're going to say the wedding
was,
let's say the wedding is the end of the previous season, which it was. Let's call that, like, if we're talking real time, we're going to call that May. This is now the Christmas episode. So they didn't start dating at the wedding because they ran into each other later.
Exactly.
So let's call this at best 5 months. And that's a long time, but we also haven't seen Mona enough to justify that it's really been 5 months. Like, I know. It feels more like 3.
And the way that Ross usually his relationships go at like a breakneck pace, like to me it seems like Ross is still on like date 5. The way that
that's what I'm saying.
Acting,
yeah, it definitely does not seem like that. But at the same time, Mona's sitting at the coffee shop with all of them, and they all seem to be comfortable and know her better than some of the other relationships
True.
that have come in and out of the gang. So,
Yeah.
there's that.
But yeah, it's like the holiday card. I couldn't tell. Was it your impression that Mona was trying to do like the cool girl thing where it's like, oh, I'll just like mention the holiday card off the top because it just like popped into her head? Or was she like actually like really wanting to do this and trying to gauge Ross's reaction to it as like a sign of where their relationship was? Because obviously that was like the end game here, is like she wanted to know what was going on. Like, was Mona in your was your interpretation that she was trying to get at that and really ultimately wanted the card? Okay.
Not at first. I think her original thought was like, you're right, this is an amazing picture, we should send it out as a card. Like, how great would that be? Just totally genuine.
Off the top.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, we get the scene late, and I will back that point up with, we then get the scene at Ross's apartment where he's like, listen, I just don't think we're there yet. Like, sending out the holiday card. And she's like, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Like, she acknowledges it.
Seems genuine,
she's like,
right.
That is fast. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Right.
I'm sorry. And she's seems very apologetic about it, and it's like,
she does.
You're right, that's my bad. Like, I shouldn't have put that out there that quick.
That's good. Yeah. Good
that
point.
being said, well,
Right.
where are we going? And now Ross has opened the door that he didn't want to open, in the idea that, hey, we're moving a little too fast here, to, well, are we moving at all? And that's where it all starts falling apart for Ross.
Yeah, and you get then the super awkward, painful conversation where they're at the coffee shop and he's like, "Well, you're not getting any younger." Well, I mean, you're getting younger. What's your secret? Like, he just is rambling on and just saying the wrong things, trying to cover it up with the right things. And he's like, "We're having fun. You look young." But that's not enough. It's like,
you can't be going nowhere. You got to go somewhere. And where are we going? We're going somewhere fun. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I will say, like, my favorite part actually comes before this, at the apartment, when before he has this breakdown at the coffee shop, when she starts with the like, well, where are we going? Then Ross's straight panic and ends up turning into the like, let's do the card.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Let's not have the conversation. Let's just do it. Like, I'm here for the card.
Which, yes, no, I'm glad that you brought that scene back up, because that was the moment where I'm like, if I was Mona, there's no way. Like, dude, you just said you weren't ready, and now you want to do the card. Like, what are we avoiding here? You know what I mean? Like, what is happening?
Literally Ross trying to put, like, the worms back in the can. Like once you've opened the can, they're everywhere, buddy. Like, you've now opened it, and now this is the fallout of opening the can. So,
and the friends had all given suggestions of like how he could get out of this too, and one of them was giving a key to the apartment, which he's like, "Oh no, that's way
real
too fast."
bad.
But then
this is so bad.
Oh, this is the other moment, Eric, where I'm like, the scene with the key and the guy changing the locks. I'm like, Mona, if you don't leave now, I don't know what to. I don't have any like issues with Mona per se, like who she is as a person, except I just question her judgment so hard. Like, this is not okay.
It's already complicated enough dating Ross while his friend Rachel is giving birth to their child.
Yes.
That's already a difficult enough scenario to be walking into. When,
like, you couldn't even tell she was pregnant by looking at her. Clearly, this is very fresh. You know what I mean? It was like,
but when that is happening, and Ross is giving you the key to his apartment. You feel like, oh, that's a step forward. This is pretty good. And then you show up and he's changing the locks.
Oh my, this is so insane.
I mean, this is even bad for Ross. This seems so crazy for him.
The locksmith just being like, good luck, buddy. Love that. It's like, how do you even explain that?
There is no explanation. I can't even. I was watching this again, going, in what world does Ross really do this? I don't think this is just an extreme version of Ross now. Like, if Ross gave out the key to then go back to his apartment and change the locks, like, what? Even if the locksmith got out of there successfully, when Mona comes over and tries to open the door and is like, oh, the lock's changed, like, what are you going to do? Say, oh, I must have given you the wrong key, but I'm not giving you another one? Like, that's crazy.
Wouldn't it have been possible for him to just get a new key made for his apartment? Like, why did he have to change the locks in this scenario? Like,
you'd like to think.
It's like, and then Mona asks him, like, well, what are you trying to tell me here? And I'm just writing, I think it's clear, Mona. Like, I think it's clear what he's trying to tell you.
The locks on the door for Mona should be the end of the line.
It is.
But it's not.
And then, but then he says he loves her. Eric, let's just have a moment of silence.
Ross, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
He loves her. Oh,
and
but
she
we
loves
do get the
spending
Emily
time
moment,
with
though.
you.
This is Emily at the airport all over again. It's amazing. I love spending time with you. Oh,
brutal.
Wow. I know. I did also have highlighted before that, though. Oh, when he's going and he's talking to Rachel and Monica at Rachel's apartment, explaining about the key situation, and Ross says, I am now a homeless person in a very serious relationship. Love that line. Yeah.
Well, Ross, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. I still think in the pantheon of people that Ross dates, that Mona is high up the list of people he should have ended up with. Like in the scenario, because I've seen this done on Reddits and all sorts of stuff, where it's like, okay, if none of the people in Friends ended up with the people that they ended up with, who else would who should they have ended up with? Like, if you're going to rewrite it, Mona is high on the list. She's not the end. She's not the best.
See, I feel like, I get it from the perspective of they had enough. It seemed like they actually had a lot in common, and she liked a lot of the quirkiness that is Ross, and she kind of got his sense of humor.
It was just,
so I get that.
I think Mona and Ross is literally timing. It's bad timing.
But the way that they wrote Mona, though, makes me feel like girl had some serious baggage that we just never learned about.
We don't know what that baggage is, because she just seems pretty good on paper.
Because something was making her stick around in this bonkers situation, and it's like, what's going on there, Mona? What are your demons?
No. Ross is a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's a little wacky from time to time. But like, and that's
because the situation with the changing of the locks again, like, how do you have this girl return into the storyline after that? How?
I don't know. Well, because Ross said he loved her.
Oh God, that just makes it worse.
It doesn't help. She would not maybe we'll do this in a future podcast where it's like, hey, if they all ended up with somebody different, who would they end up with? It wouldn't be Mona. Mona would not be my choice, but she would probably be second or third on the list. And Ross dated a lot of people.
Does she end up saying I love you back to him?
In this episode? No.
No, not in this episode. I mean, like, at all. Do we see that?
We're going to find out as we go forward.
Do you remember the? Because I'm having it's not coming to like I'm not remembering a moment.
I don't specifically at this moment remember that.
Yeah, we'll have to.
But we'll see as we move forward. But
those things that I think of that I'm like I've seen these episodes countless times, still can't remember that.
Listen,
don't know.
Let's put it this way: the locks on the door should have been the end, but really, the end should have been when Dr. Green showed up. Should have ended right there. But she's sticking it out through all of it. So, to your point, what's wrong with Mona?
Yeah.
And as Ross would say, what was wrong with Mona?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So now we've got Rachel and her erotically charged behavior where she is finding all sorts of things that she would not have found arousing to be very arousing all of a sudden. Including, some interesting looking fellas and Ross a little bit on the couch, and then Joey by the end of the episode.
Yeah. And Eric, I just realized you were spot on with the timeline because Rachel is about, I guess, 4 months pregnant now is what she was saying. And
it's Christmas.
Had just found out, so like I think.
Well, here's the thing: like the wedding is in May, but at the same time, we pick back up to the wedding, and it's still happening in August. So, like,
right. So maybe he and Mona have known each other for like 3 months. Then
I would say they dated for about 3 months.
And I would say, but then they didn't get in touch. So maybe they've been dating for like 2 months.
It's
right. Because if we think if
neighborhood.
Rachel's 4 months pregnant, she was around a month pregnant by the time the wedding happened. That's like 3 months that he and Mona knew each other. And then I would say maybe they've been dating for 2 months. That's my official, that's my story.
Let's see here. Ross meets Mona back in episode 5. That's the one where Rachel goes on the date because then she's at the Halloween party. That is, let's see here. 1, 2, that's like 2.5 months of episodes. So 2 to 3 months seems about right.
Okay.
Way too early for a holiday card.
Way too early to send out hundreds of holiday cards. That's also what I'm like, Mona, girl, I don't know. I don't have 100 people to send a holiday card.
Well, holiday cards have gone kind of by the wayside now.
I don't do that. Yeah,
no, people just put a post on Facebook.
That's true. Yeah, I hear about that. Okay. So, yeah, this whole thing with Rachel, what did Phoebe call it? Her Evander Holyfield stage?
Yeah, where she was like trying to steal an Evander Holyfield cutout from a Foot Locker, I think is what she said.
Well, she did steal
Apparently she got it.
She had it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we saw it later. So she was successful in that.
She could not part ways with it, apparently. But Eric, what about Phoebe bringing the virgin over for Rachel?
Listen.
This poor guy. Oh my God.
I mean.
Wow.
This again.
I'm sure that
seems. I mean, it seems against character for Phoebe. It's not as against character as the Sting tickets. But like, because she would do like, just like, she's floopy, right? She just does like whatever. And so she may be thinking to herself like, oh, I found a way for you to like, get over it. And here you go. Here's this guy. And it's like, but
it's like, she knows Rachel better than that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like Rachel is not just gonna like because she's even said straight up to Rachel, like, you're so vanilla. Like, Rachel's not gonna just hook up, even if he was like a hot guy. She's not gonna just be hooking up with this guy. I just don't see it. I mean, well, although I don't know, maybe in this phase, if it had been a a better looking
No,
man.
I listen. I think
I don't know.
I think the idea, like when she kind of starts flirting with Ross a little bit in the coffee shop, and then she's definitely like getting into it with Joey towards the end of the episode. And Joey's like, I can't do it.
Yes.
You know, the whole idea is if she was going to do that, it has to be with someone she feels comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be with some random person. And it's not going to be Chandler because Chandler's already married. So it's down to Ross and Joey. And really the answer is it should be Ross. But Ross is in a relationship, which means Joey. Are you going to step up for one of your friends?
Yeah, well, he hesitates, and then I think he changed his mind about that pretty quickly.
I'm just testing you.
Eric, they should just have left this alone here. They should have ended it with Joey's reaction here, which is like, as it, you know, they have a brother-sister type, really close friendship. Like, I understand the desire for the writers to consider making this a thing, right? Because they're both single, they're both attractive, they have a ton in common, arguably more than any of the other friends. And in another world, like in another universe, it does make a lot of sense. Like you can actually see them having a really successful relationship, but there's the whole Ross thing, which is a huge thing.
Let's take that thing and move that aside for a second. Okay. I also think the idea that they're roommates now is a very big draw for this relationship. It becomes so easy. And as Joey has said, you know, like he tried to marry Rachel because he saw her first.
Yes.
But now they've like lived together for a really long time. So this is now no longer like them just being friends. They've been like really good friends now.
Yeah.
And they've learned even more about each other. And I think that opens the door for this being a reasonable thing. This is not an unrealistic situation where you have male and female. You know what? Let me walk that back. You have two people that are roommates that suddenly over time start finding each other attractive, and off you go. And now all of a sudden it's like, it's just so easy. The downside to that is if it goes sideways, well, now you're out of a house.
Right.
And so there's a whole lot of stuff going on here, but this is a very realistic situation. But you're right, the whole Ross of it all definitely puts some things in question.
Yeah, I mean, especially realistic with a super tight friend group with guys and girls and people, and all straight people, although maybe some curious. But either way, it is realistic for there to be some type of curiosity or exploration or discussion from the single people in the group. I get it. But it gets more complicated though, in a sense, when you do get even closer, right? Because then it's not only I'm out of an apartment. It's like, yeah, but I'm also maybe putting my whole friendship on the line.
Of course.
And is that worth it? Sort of like why Phoebe always said, like, I could never actually go for Joey because like our friendship is way too special for me, you know?
Well,
so it's,
I'll tell you what, let's pause this here. We'll move into the next episode and let's just roll right into this story. Like, let's just keep this storyline rolling, even though it's the big part of the next episode. Okay, so now we're going to jump into season 8 episode, which one is this? 12. That is the one where Joey dates Rachel. And so let's just kind of keep this flow going. Okay, instead of, I think we had planned to do this one at the end of the episode because it's like obviously the big part of this episode. but it just connects so well to what we were just talking about. So this instead, basically, Joey decides, hey, maybe I can help you through this by going on a date. Like, we can do like a date together. And that will maybe help alleviate some of your desires, because now she's dating again. So
right.
He essentially sets the whole thing in motion, where he goes, like, she literally knocks on the apartment door and like brings her flowers, and they go out on the date, and they go to the restaurant, and they come back, and they're showing each other's moves throughout this whole thing. But then at the end of it all, it's Joey who starts realizing, hey, that was kind of like the best date I've ever been on. Maybe I should look into this a little bit. And that's where we start seeing this turn towards are they really going to do Joey and Rachel together? So before we jump into that element of it, what from this storyline really jumped out at you?
So really thinking about it now with these two episodes paired together, it's like, we ended the last one where they were considering, should we hook up? Like, should we not hook up? No, this is a horrible idea. And they just decide. Even Rachel was like, kind of peeked her head out at the end, and Joey like scolds her, and he's like, go back to your room. Like, it's not going to happen. So we end on that note, right? And then we start with this date that Joey is suggesting, because Rachel's saying, oh, I really miss dating and I'm not going to be able to date for so long. I feel like really thinking about that from a real world perspective, if this were to go down, with people in real life, there's got to be some like unconscious element on both of their parts, especially
Absolutely.
Joey, right? Where it's like, no, I know that that's kind of floating out there in our minds. So let's just like go on this like date. And like, it's just a joke date, because that's all we can call it at this point, right? Like, they're not going to say, let's go out on a real date.
No, this is like a fake date.
Make a joke out of it.
Yeah. And
but it's,
listen, the thing.
It's making the moves. This is the move.
I, first of all, love watching Joey and Rachel on the date, where they're both like, well, show me what would your move be? What would your move be? And they're like going through the different moves that they each have for like how to connect with somebody on a date. I think that's really funny to watch. I enjoy watching that element.
Yep.
I think it's really cool to see Rachel and Joey together. I think it works. I think it's very easy, and there's a lot there that I like. Now, we also then see Joey basically go on a date with this other girl to the exact same table.
Yeah.
In the exact same restaurant. And it... Like,
maybe trying to recreate. Seeing if he can recreate the feeling.
I think he's just going on a date. He's like, oh, I have a date with this girl. Like, okay, why not? And he realizes, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. Mm-hmm. He had genuinely just more fun with his friend.
Yep.
And this is where things start to go sideways. When he gets home, and Rachel is watching Cujo all by herself, and he brings up a chair to watch next to her, and she's like, no, you sit here, protect me. And then, of course, he ends up slumping into the chair, and she's like hiding in his arms, and she's like, aren't you scared? And he says, terrified. And I think terrified is the answer of the producers, who are like, is this what we want to do?
It's like, we logically understand how this would happen, like we've been talking about, but does it work for the show? People don't like it, I think, overall.
People, in the grand scheme, it is easily one of the most disliked like relationships among the core groups.
I think if they had squashed it right after this, like, I think up into, like, through this point, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, I it doesn't really bother me. It's because I know where it then leads that it's too much. They should have cut it off sooner.
They could have killed it here and just called it a day. But
there could have been one more episode where he's like kind of trying to talk, like basically has a conversation with Rachel about it, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like embrace his feelings the way that he does.
Like you could have,
right.
You could have had the two of them sit down and go, listen, logically, like we can't do this. Like this is too much. And I think they could have come to that conclusion and been okay with it. And I think for the most part, we don't see it kind of manifest again for a little while, and then all of a sudden, it's back. And it all kind of depends on where everybody else is at the time. And I know, like, listen, we're going to get down to it where basically Joey kind of has feelings for Rachel, and we get the whole, like, well, he's breaking up with Charlie, and then Ross is starting to date Charlie behind Joey's back, and he's like, well, if he can do that, then I can do this. They
tried to make it more palatable.
It's more plausible. Like, there are ways, like, it makes sense for them to be together, and it also makes sense for you two to be, like, absolutely. I see it. Like, logically, I am following the steps, and I get it. I think on some level, it's good that they explored it, and also good that people didn't like it and they didn't end that way.
Yeah, thank God.
I think
that would have been
it's
bad.
I think it's good that they did it, because if they never did it, right, would people be sitting here today going, they should have just had them hook up, right? Like, people would be arguing the other side, I think. It's too easy.
It's possible.
Like, if they just ignored it completely, then I feel like people would have been yelling from the hilltops, like, it's too easy. These two should have hooked up. They would have been fine. Like, Ross would have gotten over it.
And there's more tension and drama there than there would have been with exploring things with Phoebe, because because of the whole Ross
if Joey
of it all,
like,
right?
Yes, it's because of the Ross of it all that makes it interesting. If Joey and Phoebe had tried to get together, I think everyone would have gone, yeah, okay. But at the same time, what you would have done is you would have said, okay, so this group of 6 friends just pairs off 2, 2, 2, and we're done. You don't want to do that either.
No, it's too weird. Plus this the storyline gives us the drunken Ross episode where he's going to make fajitas. Yeah. And I love that.
Now all of that is down the line.
Oh, way down the line. But it's just
this all starts from here.
It's percolating.
It is percolating. Yeah. And I think probably at this moment there's not a lot of hate for it. So they said, okay, let's see what we can do. And I think, like you said, it's the Ross of it all that brings all of the humor to the storyline and makes it tense and makes it awkward. And if it's not for Ross, then this is just too easy. And they just hook up and call it a day.
Yeah. I think what's so hard about this storyline too is that it's like Joey has finally now gone on a date where he says, I never knew I could enjoy the non-sex part of a date so much.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, he's had this breakthrough, right? That like they've all been trying to have him find this woman that he can connect with in this way. And it's like, and now it's Rachel.
Well, I feel like the first time he had that moment was with Kristen Davis.
Sex and the City girl.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, good point.
But then of course, she's kind of like a loner and a lone wolf and really,
right.
But
he deserved that.
But I also think that revelation from Joey to me hits very similarly to when Chandler is having the fight with Monica and is saying like, oh, so it's not over? Like I thought we had a fight, so it's over now.
Yes.
And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Like you have a fight and then you move on. It's like, oh,
right.
It's like boys are realizing things.
Right, that's why. Yeah, you've never been in a relationship that lasted longer than like 2 dates or whatever Monica's line was there. Yeah, it's that was Chandler was discovering all sorts of things, and I think that it's good for Joey's character development. I also feel like just in general we see a lot of growth with him over the course of this period of time, like through this relationship. But
so listen, officially I'm gonna stand on I'm glad that Joey and Rachel do not end up together. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the show's 25 years old. At the same time, I am very I'm very happy. I think maybe happy's too aggressive. I'm glad that
it doesn't bother you that they
no, I'm glad that they explored it, because to me it makes sense that they should have explored it. I think it would have been more bothersome to me personally if they had just ignored it completely, said these two single people living together who clearly are attracted to each other are never going to explore this whatsoever. I just don't think that's reasonable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't hate that stance. I mean, as cringy as some of the moments are that come later on.
Yeah, but it brings good comedy too.
It really does.
Like it
really does.
It brings good. Yeah. It brings great moments. Fajitas.
It's the storyline that people love to hate. Yeah, the fajitas.
Well, like there's so much that comes from this, and listen, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work, and that's the tale of the roommates that get together. It doesn't work, but I'm glad that they looked at it. And I know people will hate on it, but I think people might have hated harder had they just never done it. And I know that's hard to imagine, but I think there would have been a lot to say, right? I think there would have been a lot of internet hate out there for people going like, are you kidding me? They never would have explored. Of course they would have dated. What, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
I'm with you. I think that would have been worse ultimately.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, that plot line took up pretty much most of, I feel like, the valuable content of this episode. So we also had two very minor.
We had two really small stories. The smallest of the bunch is Ross on his own, where he's teaching a college class, and then he is now doing this other lecture in this other building that apparently is really far away and only 10 minutes after his other class ends. And watching him attempt to get there, I do love the idea that he walks in, he's like, whew, okay, sorry I'm late. Ooh, a lot late. So I am Professor Geller. Bell rings. Okay, in conclusion, I'm Professor Geller. Good work today.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, it was impressive, Eric, that the entire class stayed.
That was my first thought. I was like, are you kidding me? We had
no way.
We had a hard rule, I feel like, when I was in college, and it was you had 10 minutes.
15.
Yeah. If you weren't
15
here
minutes at most
in 10, and it was kind of like just like everyone looking around the room like, hey, 10 minutes. Like, it's been 10. We good? We're all walking out. And as long as everybody left together, it was all fine. And it's like, hey, sorry you missed it. Like, you can't dock us all. We were here.
And he doesn't say across campus. He says his other classes across town.
Like, it seemed like it was really far away. Like, not just... I don't know how sprawling his campus is, but... They said it was on Avenue A, and I don't know New York City well enough to tell you how far away his building was to where Avenue A is, but by all clues, it's a long way. So much so that he decides to do this on rollerblades. And
oh my gosh. Well, and so much so that when Rachel had suggested he take a cab, he was like, oh, I'm not gonna, that's not sustainable. That would end up costing me way too much. So I'm like, how far away is this? Like, this is crazy. And it was 10 minutes after his other class. I mean,
this is bad from the university side to schedule such a crazy thing.
That's right.
If I was him, depending on how long it takes you to get there, because it seems like on day one, it took him the entire class period. So let's say it takes him an hour to get there. You have to like cut your other class short by like 30 minutes and then do only...
Or see if you can move one of the classrooms,
You've got to do something.
Right?
Something's got to happen. There's no way. But it's a funny like side bit because listen, the Joey and Rachel story of this episode, which obviously takes up a ton of time, is also like emotionally charged, and it is there's less jokes and it's more like, you know, story arc development. This is more the slapstick of it all, just trying to like have him get there and like pass out in class because he's like raced his way there.
Where he walks in and literally picks up a student's water bottle and just squirts it on his face. I'm like, oh my God, it's so funny.
That was funny.
But Eric, this is another one of those moments though where I say, were the How I Met Your Mother writers just watching Friends and just turning storylines into their own storylines? Like, what is going on? Ted Mosby had this exact scenario play out on that show.
Did he?
Yes, he had to run across town. He had his whole situation.
Yeah, but that's because he went to the wrong building.
But he had to. Okay, so maybe not the exact
because he did not he had to go to another building.
But it was very far away. He had to figure out how to get there.
But he didn't have to do this on a daily basis. He did it once.
No. Yes, but all I'm saying is it is suspiciously close.
I will say this. Listen, we know it's factual that these scripts just get like sent around and everybody uses them and then they just like revamp them for their own. And the idea that you've got the How I Met Your Mother group running the Friends script, but a little bit more modern and a little bit slightly different.
Tweaked it slightly.
Yeah, is absolutely for sure a thing. There are an unending amount of comparisons between the two.
A lot. Yes.
Yes. That being said,
they make them their own.
That being said, they make them their own, and I find both shows to be incredibly funny, and I will enjoy it when we break down that one because you know we're gonna.
It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. Or what does Ted say? It's ineffable.
Ineffable.
Calling me effable.
Okay, so then the other piece to this episode is the Miss Pac-Man machine, which Phoebe brings in as a wedding present to Monica and Chandler. And essentially, Chandler takes a day off of work and fights through Miss Pac-Man as bad as he was at it. He gets good and sets all the high scores and makes them all bad names. And he pays for it with the claw, essentially, as he is no longer able to move his hand.
Hey, that was a thing of its time. Yeah.
You listen, those joysticks were a little bit different. And listen, the thing about this that bothers me the most, and it has bothered me every single time I watch this. Do you know what it is? Do you know what I'm going to say?
Is it the fact that, is it Phoebe?
No, it's not Phoebe. It's Monica. Chandler wanted to turn the guest room into a game room. And he wanted to bring in the big arcade machines. And she was like, absolutely not.
And now
she's like, we can just put it in the guest room. And is like, this is the best gift ever. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You killed this idea when Chandler brought it up.
Where do they follow this through on where this thing actually lands, or do we never see it again? Because I don't think we see it again.
I don't think we see it again.
This is
I would
imagine
imagine
to them, and it
like,
just disappears.
In my head, it gets put in the guest room in like a corner that is behind camera.
The beautiful guest room.
Like it's still there in the guest room.
Yeah. So what?
Because there's no way they leave it right in the middle of the living room. That's just crazy.
Oh.
They should have, though.
Yeah, no one.
They should have just put it like up against the door going into the guest room.
Yeah. What bothers me is that Phoebe gives this as their belated wedding gift, and then she hogs the game. Like, Phoebe, what the hell?
No, that doesn't bother
you,
me.
girl?
That doesn't bother me at all.
Oh my god, Phoebe being Phoebe, I guess. But yeah, but the best moment is when Ben comes in with Ross at the end, and Phoebe is like losing her mind, like cursing every obscenity known to man. And then she's like, "Oh, don't look at the machine though," because Chandler had like, what did he use? Ass as his initials.
He used a few
does
others.
It not say?
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He says after ASS it gets a little difficult. Where Monica says like, "Well, this one's not bad." He's like, "Well, when you pair it with this one though," and so listen, teach their own. You're welcome to make up your own like words as to what those would be. There are a few different options I've come up with in my head for what that answer could be, but there are a whole lot of 3-letter combos that turn into words that are not appropriate for Ben, who's 7.
Right.
But Phoebe yells them all out loud.
She yells them all out loud. They have that hilarious sequence where you don't hear what she's saying, but it's just her silently, like her hair is going nuts.
Got some
like she's
opera playing in the background.
Side to side, and then her, covering up the machine so that Ben doesn't see.
Don't look at the machine.
Don't look at the machine.
Meanwhile, Ross has got Ben like in the death grip, trying to keep his ears plugged. Like, listen. And as Chandler said, like, listen, he's 7. Like, he's seen this stuff before.
Did she lose it because she lost the game? Is that
what
happened?
Yeah, she lost the game. She was trying to set the high score to knock one of the words off, right. And she lost out. And so she lost her stuff. And Ben heard it all. All right, well, now we're going to jump into our IMDb ratings segment of the podcast where we talk about our ratings of these episodes against your ratings as we find them on IMDb. And we're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite characters of these 2 episodes. Amanda, who do you want to start with?
I mean, okay. I had to go with Ross as my favorite for these 2 episodes. I mean, to me, the chaos between him and Mona in the one with Ross's step forward is just, we get classic Ross. I know he didn't have as, like, his plot line wasn't as front and center in the second one, the one where Joey dates Rachel, but it was still super funny, like those moments of him appearing late to the classroom that we talked about. So yeah, I just had to go with Ross. He was the funniest in these, and I had to give him the props there. How about you, Eric? Who was your favorite?
I'll tell you what, I'm going with somebody who I don't think, I'm looking real quick at my overall tallies. And yeah, this person is not someone who I pick a ton, but I am picking Rachel as my favorite in this one.
Okay. I could see that.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I love the Ross and Mona stuff that you talked about, but that goes hand in hand with Ross trying to run across campus. Rachel gets the whole hormone storyline. And then also, like, dating Joey and watching her and Joey at the end of the first episode with Ross's step forward, and then throughout the whole dating segment. I think it's really her and Joey that I was picking between. It was just one of them.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
And then, and so I'm taking Rachel. Not that Joey was more or less. I feel like Rachel just kind of drove it for me. Like she was the one with the driving point that I kind of understood her side of it. When it came to least, I was really down to Chandler and Phoebe. There wasn't really another option for least. As much as Monica does play against character, it's not really that far against character. I'm just mad at that decision that she made. So I'm going to go with Chandler because I just really don't like the boss storyline all that much. Like that one is whatever.
Yeah.
I think Phoebe is funnier with the Miss Pac-Man machine than Chandler is. So
yeah.
I'm going with Chandler, and that's sad because I like Chandler.
I know. I went with Chandler.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Sorry, Chandler. But I almost just switched to Monica, but I feel like, to your point, she stayed in character more, although she just wasn't really, I don't think I really had any notes on her from the one with Ross's step forward. But
no, because her whole well, wait, there might have been a small scene somewhere.
Well, she was in his office with him.
She was in the office, and then she was at the end of the episode with Chandler as well.
That's right. When Chandler was talking about being with her,
right.
And how he's happy to be in the
And I'm thinking she had a scene in the coffee shop.
There was a scene. It might have been in the coffee shop too, but she was there when Ross was saying, I am now a homeless person in a very serious relationship. She was in talking with Rachel in their apartment. Yeah.
And I think there was a moment earlier. Who was with Joey when Joey said, "Hey, congratulations."
Oh, maybe during the Christmas card.
Yeah, when he was like, "Congratulations, you're married."
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think Monica was there as well. Yep. Okay. Because they were looking through the pictures, and that's when, like, apparently the photographer had only taken pictures of Mona's boobs. So,
right, that's true. We never did talk about that. Joey's like, "I'm missing picture time. Hold on."
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll say this: I am still trying to hammer out my actual rating numbers for these. Do you have ratings?
I have mine down.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go with yours
I have
first
mine locked
then,
in.
because I'm torn between a couple of things.
I always just try to. Sometimes I will move them around as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But
I
for
always
the
do a
most
little
part,
bit.
I try to, like, right after I watch it, I just write down like my gut, my instinct. I did not move them.
I did do that. Yeah. I just feel like it's not right. But anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, I hear what you're saying. So I went with the one with Ross's step forward as my favorite of the two.
Okay.
I gave that one an 8.5.
Okay.
And then, because as we talk about, to me, that's like a really just solid Friends episode. Rewatch value is there. Really funny parts. Just that's my 8.5.
I agree. Then, I agree with that being what an 8.5 is.
Yeah. And then the one where Joey dates Rachel, I gave that one an 8.0 because I really like it. But again, I'm very torn on the whole Joey and Rachel thing. And to me, that was the only part of that episode that I really liked. Like the other storylines, the Miss Pac-Man and Ross and going to class. I mean, the Ross bit was definitely funny, but I feel like that could be like inserted into really any episode, you know? So it didn't really have that like, man, I love rewatching this episode. Not really. The Joey date, I understand how them going on the date does realistically make sense, but I still don't love it. I just don't. And it's just
you are obviously not alone in that. I will stand on, I'm glad that they explored it.
I understand that.
And I think I think the blowback would have been worse had they not. But that's a world that we're not living in, and we have no idea.
No, we're not.
So I will say, for what it's worth, when I wrote down my initial gut instinct ratings, I put 8.2 for both of them.
Okay.
Because I was like, I think this is where they're just kind of like the same. But I do always adjust through our conversation. And after the conversation, I feel like Ross's Step Forward is my favorite of the two. And it's the Ross and Mona stuff and the Joey and Rachel stuff at the end of that episode really drives that episode for me, where the then Joey dates Rachel episode, I really only care about Joey and Rachel on the date. And the others are fine. They're not bringing it down, but they're also not doing a lot for it. So I'm going to leave that one as an 8.2. But I'm going to have Ross's Step Forward be my favorite. I'm actually going to move it up to an 8.4. I don't think I like it as much as you do, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
That being said, now I have to go through my phone and find the episodes. Here they are. I had it pretty close to queued up. And these are episodes 11 and 12.
11 and 12.
And you know what?
Right, yeah. What do the people say?
Well, the one with Ross's Step Forward, which both you and I said was pretty much a quintessential Friends like lock it in episode, the people have rated a 7.8.
Wow.
So IMDb gave that a 7.8. You gave it an 8.5, and I gave it an 8.4.
7.8.
However, the one where where Joey dates Rachel, I gave an 8.2, you gave an 8. The people gave an 8.4. So,
oh my God, I'm actually surprised. Okay.
So really, on average,
the people flipped, at this point.
The people have flipped the episodes. And I will say this much. Yeah. You know, when it comes down to it, if you're going to tell me that the Miss Pac-Man and Ross changing classes storylines are part of... I'm just going to discredit. I'm going to strike points for things like that. Like, those two storylines are just not enough to help. Don't get me wrong. I think the Rachel and Joey dating storyline, which takes up most of that episode, is good. It's not great. Yeah. It's good. But the other two bring it down. So I can't get on board with that being an almost mid-8 episode. The other one is more surprising.
That is way more surprising to me. But I think maybe what this tells us is that people don't like Mona. And
well, we've seen that before, right?
Yeah. I think maybe Mona's an issue. We'll see as like the Mona storyline continues. But I think also the initial exploration of Joey and Rachel is like passing the sniff test. But
I think
after
it makes
this
sense.
point, I don't know. Well, like I wonder if the one where they kiss, how that one's gonna rate. I don't know.
Well, listen, there are a number of Joey and Rachel episodes on the horizon, and we'll see. Like, is there a point where people start like really going against the grain? Because people definitely speak to not liking that combination.
I'm curious though if those are the people who are rating them. We'll see. Yeah, you know.
Any last phrasing from here? I mean, I'll say this. I'm a little. I hear you with Mona, but my last statement is: if you're going to tell me that whole Ross card situation gets you in the 7s, I just don't believe you. That's not a 7s episode.
No, that is. Oh no, I am disappointed. I am just outright.
There you go.
Disappointed in the people rating this. I'm going to throw in some ratings. Maybe someday.
You've been scolded. Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check out our socials, our Instagram, our YouTube. We've got stuff out there for you to click on and like and subscribe and share and do all the fun stuff you like to do on social media with. Also, you can follow us on Spotify, where you can leave a 5-star rating, or on Apple Podcasts, where you could also leave a 5-star rating, or you can find us on our own Patreon at We Run on Reruns. And we really appreciate the support that we are starting to see across the board in all those places. And thank you so much from both of us. But for now, prepare for next week when we have episode 8. I'm sorry. No, season 8 episodes.
That's right.
What is it? 13 and 14. That is the one where Chandler takes a bath and the one with the secret closet. So look forward to those. Enjoy rewatching those. And everybody, happy rerunning.
See you later, guys.